Good afternoon, fellow traders. It's Black Coffee Trader. Time to do the daily update, kind of a recap, I guess I should say. But it's been a hot minute. I didn't do a recap in a couple days. I kind of forget when the last one was. I've been kind of crazy busy this week, and I really haven't traded that much. But what I've traded has been pretty good, and honestly I've had a pretty good month so far. Obviously I was only trading one account until a couple of days ago. I bought a straight to funded Tradeify 50k with that deal they have going on. I think it's like TVT, their internal promotion. You get one account, one time use for 50% off. So I thought I had to give it a try, and we're up $200 in 2 days, so that's good. I had a small little day yesterday and up 146 today, 145, whatever that is, and 160 on the Apex account. So again, slowly building it back up, trying to get it out of the hole that it was in. But a few things to talk about today. I had a good day. Again, I've had a good month. I've made some adjustments to my trading, and it's worked out extremely well. I think we might actually just go to TradeZilla first. So here's today, $300, 75% win rate. And the thing I want to point out, I mean, I've had one red day so far, and that was Monday, a very, very bad red day where I added into a trade and really ended up with a big loss. And that was when I was still trading only the one Apex account I had left. I got the Tradeify account here on yesterday. I traded it yesterday and today. So for the first 4 days, it was just this Apex account. But after this trade, I had a big loser on Monday where I added in and added in. And it got me thinking, and I just decided to be a little bit more careful. And what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get into setups on a break and retest where I can have a really tight stop. When I look back historically, I have always traded the best when I have done this, where I've had a high risk to reward. And what that means is I may have trades where I get stopped out quickly and I'm out, but I'm not giving away drawdown because I know that eventually I'm going to have a good trade. And I've just been on a streak where I've had quite a few good ones. In fact, for the month, I think my win rate is probably about 75% this month. 76%, which is really high for me. The average win to loss is very skewed because I had that one big losing day, which that really skews it. Now I've had some small winners, but I've been pretty accurate in the trades, and so I think there's something to that. For me, again, there's no right way to trade, and just because I trade this way doesn't mean that I think it's the best way to trade. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying this is what works for me. Getting into positions where I can have a tight stop loss like I had today on this ES trade really works, and scaling out of it quickly. This is one thing I've probably changed more over the last several days that's probably the biggest change, aside from getting an entry where I can have a tight stop. And really what I'm doing is I'm forcing myself to have a tight stop and then getting out of the trade. I'm okay if it's wrong. If it's wrong, I'm out and I'm now looking for another entry. The thing that I'm doing that I really need to work on is I have a nasty habit of trailing my stop when I start to see stuff like this happen. I start to see us go sideways. This trade, I was out here, small win, small win, small win, and then I decided to put my stop up here in case this rolls over. Well, what I really need to do is I need to leave my stop. I'm okay moving my stop to break even maybe after I'm out of 3 contracts and I've got 1 left maybe. But I need to be okay with my stop where it is or at break even and not trail it, because I miss out so much. I missed out on this trade today on the ES. 3 contracts off, and my last one was sitting around the 27.50 mark. I had that area marked out on the bigger, higher time frame, and I felt like that was a good place to go, which ended up being a bit of a break and retest here, which eventually failed. But had I left my stop at break even or wherever, this pulled back, and this really was the better break and retest entry for this trade, where I was really trading the break and retest of the prior day high, this purple line, and also this level around the 63.13s. So that's the thing I need to work on, because I got out of there. That last contract made me $30, but I really left probably 60 bucks on the table because of taking, well, maybe not 60, but another 30 probably on the table because of because of stopping out. And that's what I really need to work on. That's not the worst of it. The worst of it is on the Russell. I had a great plan on the Russell. I really got into a really good trade on the Russell after we couldn't break down in the morning session, and we started to break above this level at the 2264s, which this really ends up being a break and retest of this 2264. We had a bit of sloppiness here, but that was a break and retest and a move higher, and I was looking for that move. But what I just talked about where I failed is I got out of this trade, I let it run for a little bit and I got out up here, and then I trailed my I put my last contract right under the high of day after we started wicking here, and I got wick stopped out. So I got wick stopped out right there, and this continued to push, and then and just bear with me here for a minute. And then I decided to jump back in it because I was like, well, the move's going to continue. I need to get back in this trade, and I do. And then we have this nasty pullback, and I take a $60 loss, which is fine. The big picture, though, is look what happened. So my strategy with this break and retest, and I'm holding for, I like a bigger play. I'm not in it to get a big play all the time. But here, again, had I left my stop even at break even, after I got 3 off, instead of trailing this, if I had just left the stop at break even, this I would not have then taken this trade. We had the pullback, and what did we get but a huge move? And my ultimate target when I entered this position was I wanted to take 3 off to the high of day and have a runner sitting at this level at 2280. It's exactly what I had set up, and I got cold feet. Trailed my stop. Once I got this, the first 3 out, we had this little wiki action, trailed my stop. It's like, I don't want this to roll over. I'm going to just take my profit. And had I left it here, I would have gotten that big move. So I just think there's nothing wrong with taking this. There's nothing wrong with it at all. But it's frustrating to me when I put the time in to find the levels, to look at the trades I want to set up, or in other words, I'm looking for the market to set up certain things, and if it does, I want to take entries, and then I want to take specific targets. Case in point, like I just talked about, my plan with this setup was taking 3 off, and once we get close to this high of day from the prior day, and then leave my last one up here. And I had the right call. I had read it correctly, but in the moment, I succumbed to the price action and took my profit and didn't allow myself to get the move that I really should have had. So I ended up taking 25 bucks on that last contract, and that should have been at least 50. So it's little things. It's not a huge deal, but those are just areas that I need to improve on. Again, I was able to have a tight stop. I was like, hey, if it falls below here, I'm out. I should have maybe kept my stop down here, but I was like, if it falls below this area, I'm out. I'm looking for a better entry, and I am okay with that. So that was one of the trades. This was the winner, loser, and then let me think. I had this winning trade. I had one more today. Oh, I had one on the Dow Jones. Yep, I had one on the Dow. This one here I was kind of sad about this. There was just no entry for me this morning. I was looking for this. I've been talking about this on my morning recaps or the morning trade plans. This 44,660 area, I have been expecting. In fact, I think I said it this morning. At one point, we're going to get a big move off of it, and we got it today. But we just went. There really was not a good entry for me to get into this, and I just didn't get in it. So I almost got in here, but again, this was not clean on the prior day. We kind of broke through it. I thought about entering here. Again, it wasn't clean, and we got this retest. It was such a great setup. I got in again, but true to form. Look at what I did. This didn't cost me that much, but 3 contracts off. I was targeting these highs here. 3 contracts off. Held the last one, and I got out of there with $6, $6 measly dollars. Like leave it here. Leave it here or break even, whatever. Wouldn't have gained that much, but leaving it here and being okay with that loss, which would have been, about probably a $10 loss on the last contract, still would have been a winning trade. But I left this, I left that, and I can't recall where I had my 4th target set. It wasn't It wasn't all the way up here. I think it was somewhere in the middle, but I may or may not have gotten it, but I could have got out there with a little bit more. So I need to work on my trade management. I really do. I need to work on trade management. Yes, it was an okay day, 150 per account. That's nice. Small account, but still, we could have done a little bit better, but it was a good day. Reading the market well. And I just, wish I had more accounts, but, we need to work on trying to become better and execute better. So that's what we're after. So we'll be back at it tomorrow. Hopefully it's Friday. Hopefully we can continue to put together another winning day tomorrow, and then finish this week off on a pretty green note. That would be nice. I know it's not a big month, but it's good to at least see green on the month. That's positive, and hopefully we can stay that way and continue to improve. So that's the goal. That's where things are at right now. Again, I just want to say thank you for using code BCT. Reminder that the Apex sale has been extended to the 24th of July. So we've got quite a few days left for that sale, but thank you for using my code. And again, thanks for using code BCT for Take Profit. They've got that really, really good deal going on with that 40% discount, which is nice, and no activation fees. So again, thanks for supporting me. I appreciate that very much. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for following along. Hopefully you learned a couple things, and I'm not necessarily here to teach, but just bringing you along on my trading journey, and hopefully you get some value out of that. So again, thanks for following along. Appreciate you guys. Have a good night. Have a good day tomorrow. We'll catch up with you on the next one. Take care, and so long.